I'm Aditi Lama and you're watching ITV Gold, and today we are here at the Ekal Vidyalaya Foundation's annual gala, a gala that's brought prominent community leaders, Bollywood celebrities, many other dignitaries, all to celebrate a beautiful cause that talks about eradicating illiteracy from rural India. The beautiful foundation is working on a grassroots level every day by their one teacher-run schools throughout the country. Actually, they have over 70,000 schools in India currently running, really empowering the underprivileged children and women. So today we are here in New York City, where we are celebrating a beautiful foundation that talks about empowering children, empowering women, and also talks about the importance of the Indian American support when we talk about providing for these charities and really giving back to the motherland. So stay with us on ITV Gold as we cover the 2018 Ekal Vidyalaya Foundation's annual gala, brought to you here by ITV Gold exclusively on our show. Stay with us. We have many important dignitaries to talk about, many important things to discuss on the issue of education. Hello everyone, you are watching ITV Gold, and right now it's an honor and privilege to have with us none other than Mr. Anupam Kher. He needs no introduction. Mr. Anupam Kher, again, thank you so much for giving us your time on ITV Gold. Right now we are here for the Ekal Vidyalaya annual fundraiser. It's one of the largest non-profits that's actually enabling and empowering rural India in so many ways that I feel that perhaps people don't even understand that. So, when you're here as a chief guest and you're here to talk about it, why support a cause like Ekal Vidyalaya?
It means it's very important to identify people who you would really want to support. And look at this, Mr. Vanchu. The kind of work that these people are doing is phenomenal. And to have small little schools in remotest of villages in India, and to give them education is to create awareness about India and to give them hope and dreams.
We have with us none other than Mr. John Scully. I don't really know if I can do justice to describing, your stature and your importance, and I think it's so amazing to have you with us right now with the entire South Asian diaspora. Mr. Scully, how does it feel to interact with so many Indian Americans right now in New York City and to represent Apple in such a beautiful cause like Ekal Vidyalaya?
Well, I feel very much at home with Indians. I've been coming to India since 1991, been there every year. And I was first introduced to India with Ratan Tata. And Ratan brought over a delegation of business people right after the Soviet Union disappeared and India moved, tilted to the west. And Ratan and I became good friends, and I've been involved with many of the IT people. So as a Premji and Nandan Nilekani and many others of the high-tech industry.
Talking about that high-tech industry, I have to ask you, being the CEO of Apple and, interacting with an Indian community that is so advanced in the IT, sector, as we call it, as well as digital marketing and so much more, what do you have to say about the scope of India when you look at that world? And, how much of, India and Indian employees are important to a company like Apple?
Well, if you look at Silicon Valley today, the leadership of so many of the most famous named companies are Indians. And I think one of the reasons is that in India, the aspiration of Indian mothers is that their sons and daughters become either engineers or doctors. And I think that the particular talent of Indians is very apropos of what we have today, because smart process automation is what scales businesses. And Indians are very, very good at these businesses that are complex, very detailed, and which can scale to large numbers.
I must ask you, we are obviously hearing so many things about the new iPhone and so much in Apple. Since you have taken over the company as a CEO, how has the experience been for you? And, going into this year and next year, how hopeful are you feeling? What can you give our viewers into, what can they expect from Apple and from you as well in your journey, going into next year as well?
Well, I'm not currently the CEO of Apple. I was CEO for 10 years. So I'm not the person who can actually represent exactly what Apple is working on. But like everybody, I love Apple's products. It's got an amazing group of people who have always surprising us with new things that they can create to make us happy.
When you look at your amazing journey right now and all that you've accomplished, how do you look back at it? And are you currently satisfied and content with all of the successes and all of the things you've seen so far?
Well, I think that what makes all of us happy is to see the next generations come along. And they'll do even more amazing things than our generation did. So Apple is one of those touch points for many people in their lives, particularly young people. And they can be aspirational to people to say, I want to go make a difference in the world.
Dr. Parekh also is a publisher, and we work a lot with the South Asian community.
Yeah.
And right now, having you and both of you together, Dr. Parekh, how does it feel right now to have so many prominent Indian American community leaders and so many important personalities such as him? How important do you think someone like his contribution and his support is for a foundation like Ekal Vidyalaya?
It's extremely important, and it's very important, and it's a really honor and privilege that John is here with us, and his blessing and his support and his connections and connectivity, it helps us our philanthropic cause, and it goes long way to the villages and single students school in India, and really I mean, just like what Bill Gates Foundation is doing it. Of course, he is also part of the same group, and his presence makes a lot to me, and really I'm very proud and privileged that John is with us.
So while we are here at the Ekal Vidyalaya amazing Gala Prakashi, another successful year, another successful gala, how important are these galas for someone like you who's been associated with the foundation for so long? And what are your expectations of the community out there?
Okay, let me put it this way. To begin with, I mean, you know, Sudhir Bhai, Sudha Ben had always been our great supporter right from the beginning. Believe it or not, many people don't know that. He's been there with Ekal from the beginning. And see, for example, the reason why these galas are so important, during the course of the time, Ekal has progressed step by step. Then, of course, naturally, we wanted to jump into the high network individuals where we can, jumpstart our fundraising. That is why last year we started our Ekal Galas. This year, for example, so far through Ekal fundraising concerts, we raised almost $8 million. But now this year we had 3 galas, one in Houston, one in Washington, and today in New York City. So we are going to cross $10 million this year. That is why galas are so important to us.
Can you just quickly tell our viewers what all of the $10 million raise money would go into? I think it's very important for people to know the amazing work that Ekal is doing on grassroots levels every day.
As of this moment, we have 77,000 Ekal schools. And we not only give education to them, but we are also into healthcare and integrated village development. So it is like sort of an overall development. If you ask me in one sentence, the importance of Ekal is we try to give self-esteem and dignity to the village folks. That is the bottom line.
The reason is it is education. We all came to this country for education, and we have seen that the education transforms our lives. Why don't we transform the lives of the people in those villages? One education, little learning, they can go a long ways, they can stand their own feet. And when the village will develop, India will develop. So that is what it is.
What's a message you'll tell the viewers that are watching you on ITV Gold to support these causes? What would you like to tell them?
The same old thing, that let's develop India so that India becomes an important figure. And as Gandhi ji said, India still lives in the villages. India will grow when the villages grow.
I would say that Ekal is the organization that does a wonderful job. We're teaching these children at $1 a day. The $1 goes very, very far in teaching these children. If they don't have this access to education, well, guess what their lives are going to be? Their lives are going to be not too many opportunities, not anything to look forward in life. So this is a wonderful way to get associated with this cause, and we'd like more and more people in the United States to support this organization so that these children in India have a wonderful future.
Thank you so much. And as they said, do support an organization that's really trying to enable through education. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. A lot of people hear about Ekal Vidyalaya and all the amazing work they're doing. I keep on asking everyone this one question. I have to ask you, why Ekal? And what would you like to tell the viewers about the importance of enablement and enabling education to empower the younger generations in India?
Two things. One simple is, if we want to bring India to the developed nation, then these villages must come to that level. And when we say villages, there are young kids, young women, girls both, and we are very active. So they have the same genes as you and me. Given the opportunity, they will shine up.
Why Ekal is, first of all, is because this I know only about one medium which is doing good to the rural tribal children in the real tribal rural areas in the entire outskirts of India, or covering entire spectrum of Indian states. And those who have visited the schools and all that, they just fall in love with that. Such a great cause. And the second question was that
What would you tell the viewers if you were to tell them anything about supporting the cause and becoming a part of it?
well, the viewers, I would say that if you know to support anybody in the world, it is these children, those who need the support. We all work, do things for ourselves, but we generally avoid, as a lot of people, and a lot of people do support. It's God's job. It's God who, to people, those who are lovable by God, they are blessed to do such kind of a cause, and I'm very fortunate.
Quite a scene, and I believe in Ekal cause because, as you know, in USA, Ekal started from my home when Mr. Chug was chairman and Mohan Mittal came and Sri Ravi Shankar came, and we launched the Ekal Vidyalaya. That's how it started there in 2000, year 2000, and now he's 18 years old. Actively, Ekal is working here in USA, and from there, look at that today. I understand that we are raising. They are raising committee raising almost $10 million. So that shows from US only. That shows that where we came from first school to $10 million in one event, and that's a great success, and it's a great cause. Everybody should support, and that's why I come year after year and support this cause.
Yeah, this organization is I think everybody should support it because it helps the women and the children, and especially in the village and tribal area, which is totally neglected. And when the children are educated, automatically it lifts the whole family. Woman is empowered, whole family is lifted. So I think Ekal Vidyalaya is doing great job. It is flourishing all over America. Only today they are doing the fundraising in Houston, in Washington and New York, and they have estimated 10 million project, So it is a great cause, and I'm so happy to be here.
Of course, Dr. Mai, having you here and talking about the importance of education, especially when it impacts women and children, how important do you think a celebration such as this is? And what would you like to say to the viewers on the importance of helping out, especially being Indian Americans?
I think we have been fortunate enough to get an excellent education basics in India, but still there are so many unfortunate children and the women, and I think something like this fundraising, it will go a long way, and I think it's time for us, that brain drain that is coming to Western world, I think has to stop, and let's create a very highly educated India.
And just like going right on to my right, when we're talking about Ekal Vidyalaya, when you are attending this beautiful gala right now, what do you have to say about the organization itself and also all of the members that have contributed for so many years to really impact the life of so many millions of children?
I think this is an incredible event to sponsor something that is such an important thing to the community. The leaders of the community have come together to do something that brings awareness to everyone, and to be a part of this and to support this is a thrill for me.
And just moving a little bit more to our right, what would you like to tell our viewers of ITV Gold that are watching and that are learning about this foundation? If they were to do something right now, what would you advise to them?
So we should give them a good education back home, and we should give those who are unfortunate people here back home.
And just talking about the importance of, having women and having children as a huge part of Ekal Vidyalaya. For these women, how important do you think it is for them to get education in rural and tribal India, and for that to be empowered on that level?
Along with good education, good health is very important.
Just talking again on the continuation theme of, eradicating illiteracy from India and providing so much for rural and tribal India, do you think that the community right now, when you do have so many community leaders, do you think our Indian American community realizes the need of supporting back home and enabling those causes?
Sure, definitely. It's very important. The reason being because most of the people, brain drain, are coming on H1 visa. So Indian people don't have those kind of people. So we need to have those, again, the tribal, rural people to get more education. And this is the way Ekal Vidyalaya is doing a wonderful job. And Dr. Parikh is always supporting the cause. Right. And I'm with Dr. Parikh all the time. Thank you.
And then let me just bring it quickly back to both of you here. We're talking about, you starting this from your home, and then this has become such a huge charity. Millions of dollars raised for these children. What would you both right now like to tell to the youth of our community that can really, really help bring this to a different level?
Well, I would like to say that because I'm the proud and privileged person who started this Ekal Vidyalaya from my home in year 2000, where Sri Ravi Shankar came, Mohan Mittal came, and that time there was only single number of number of schools, and now look at today. Even today itself we are raising about $10 million here. So that shows that in 18 years it came so fast and so become so big. So I would always tell young generation, more you give, more you become. And that motto all young generation should remember.
And Dr. Sudha, what one last message for the youth and that involvement in Ekal?
It is very important to support the education, because we are fortunate we had a chance to study, educate ourselves. And there are so many unfortunate children in India, they never get a chance. So it is our duty and to support these unfortunate children and help them to make a life.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Anandji, on ITV Gold. We are, your father started Ekal Vidyalaya, and right now you're at this beautiful event in New York City, which aims to actually raise about $10 million, which is a huge amount, going straight back to all these children in India. How important is this moment for you? And I'm sure you have had so many moments, in your life with Ekal, but this particular moment, how much of importance does it have for you?
Well, it is extremely important because with the funds which is very badly needed to improve the educational background of tribal villages. This is an extremely important event, and it also creates awareness in the local community and spreads the importance of the work being done back in India.
Just one question for you, as someone who's basically lived with this foundation. What is a message you would like to give to the Indian American community that lives throughout this whole country? What is something that you want to tell them, particularly after your entire experience with the foundation?
Well, the message I would like to convey is, think about wherever you are today, what brought you there, and should we give the same opportunity to kids who don't have that opportunity today, and can we do something for them to come to that level?
This is such a beautiful foundation. It's literally transforming lives on an everyday basis. So here's my question for you. As a person who sits there on the ground level, one, are you happy with the progress of the foundation itself? Two, how can we as Indian Americans right now help take you to the level that you want in, say, 2020?
Yes, we are happy in the sense that based on the volunteering model, whatever we could achieve, we have been able to achieve. Having started with 60 schools in Jharkhand in 1988, we have already crossed 76,000 mark. And we are already there in 76,000 villages with a firm plan in place to reach 100,000 villages by turn of next year, as quickly as next year. So we are doing our bit. But India is a huge country, and it is the country of villages. 70% population still lives in villages. So problems are immense. We are doing our bit. Government is doing its own bit, and so like that many other organizations. But the size, scale and depth of the reach Ekal has been able to make, nobody has been able to equate that kind of thing. So we are happy in that sense. As far as people and friends and well-wishers in America are concerned, they have been doing a lot for us. Not only the financial contribution, we have been able to get a lot of new ideas from here, like use of technology in our teaching, like use of technology in the processes, and then go beyond the schooling in the health and hygiene, in the development, skill development, and also in the empowering the women, etc. So a lot of ideas we have been getting from our American supporters and well-wishers. So they have always been a partner in this whole journey, and they have been doing it very well. And since last year, when this Gala event was added to the whole Ekal process in America, things have changed a lot. In financial terms, and particularly one strata of the society we could never reach, that has been now possible. So all the segments of diaspora are now working with Ekal.
We have right now the President of USA. Thank you so much for being with us on this beautiful event that's obviously going to hopefully get us about $10 million for those children, hopefully back in India. How are you feeling? And if I was to ask you just one question, how can all of us now at this point, after whatever Ekal has reached, help back? What would you say?
It's very easy. You just need to feel for the cause and support us. It's so easy that $1 a day can support a child, almost about 20 to 25 kids in a village. We started 30 years ago with one school. It's amazing where we are today, 76,000 schools. In fact, if you look at where we were last year in the same Gala, we were 54,000. So we have added close to about 20,000 schools and villages this year alone, in 1 year. So look at the scalability that we are able to bring to the table. And we have already reached close to about 2 million children. More than 50% of them are girls. So our goal is to see how a village can become self-sufficient. They can stand on their own leg. At the same time, see how we can support the women empowerment in most of these villages.
And since we have you as the President for the USA, I just have to ask you, what do you have to say about your relationship as Ekal Vidyalaya Foundation with Parekh Worldwide Media and now going into ITV Go? What do you have to say about the combination of having a media entity support causes like this?
It's extremely important because what we can convey through the media, the message gets, it's viral. It can flow to people that we are unable to reach. I think that unbelievable support can come only through media. So we truly appreciate ITV's support. We also believe that it's a cooperation. Unless we have a message to offer and you have that message to convey, it doesn't reach the right audience. So we could only quadruple our support with support of media.
All right, everyone, and this was the Ekal Vidyalaya Foundation Annual Gala 2018, a beautiful event that brought together many community leaders, dignitaries and officials to really talk about the importance of education and really helping the children and women of India. Stay with us on ITV Gold. I'm Aditi Lama with cameraman Raja Bhatti signing off.